Obviously, new details emerge on the school shooting in Georgia. 2 students and 2 teachers were killed in a high school shooting in Georgia. School is back. And maybe some of you just found out in the most American way possible by yet another gruesome, horrific school shooting. Classic. How could this have happened, we say, in a country where it happens all the time? This chatter is correct. Chatters, they're trying him as an adult specifically because they want to use capital punishment to make an example. Now, there's a couple different perspectives here. One, in the state of Georgia, there are certain crimes that you can be charged as an adult as, even if you're a minor when you commit them. Obviously, killing 4 people would be one of those crimes. Having said that, however, capital punishment obviously is a punishment for a crime such as this one for adults in the state of Georgia, despite the fact that it is declared unconstitutional for, I believe, minors to be subjected to adult punishments in general. Specifically, I think capital, specifically the death penalty. Now, having said that, it will be a wonderful new Supreme Court cycle where they will make that, permissible eventually. So that'll be cool. Because in the United States of America, we don't necessarily understand that, like, we and our culture, in terms of like how quickly we go, oh, we should kill this person, we should kill this 14-year-old, is probably playing a role in having more 14-year-olds just like that shooter develop in this incredibly violent culture. But, that's neither here nor there. It's additionally insane to have this conversation because the reason why you do the death penalty, like the arguments for the death penalty, which I am against, by the way, unconditionally, is it's a deterrence. Except the overwhelming majority of mass shootings already end with the death penalty right there, because most of those people either want to die with a suicide by cop or just kill themselves after they're done killing a bunch of people. So, kind of a stupid fucking deterrence. It's not a deterrence at all. It's just pure, I'm seeing red. I want to act like I'm doing something. I'm satiating the masses that have a thirst for blood. I'm quenching their thirst by killing this 14-year-old, that is now in the custody of the state. That's basically it. A lot of people forget that the criminal justice system is not there for like immediate vengeance. It's there so that we have rules, regulations, restrictions, punishments, with the overarching goal of ensuring that people just don't do violent crimes, either by way of deterrence or by way of rehabilitation. And we've completely lost sight of that. I think the average American genuinely, I think about this a lot. The average American, I think, genuinely looks at the criminal justice system as like a vehicle to do harm to people who have done harm to others. And that's literally not the point. Like, that's not the point at all. That has never been the point. That's not, like, we are not medieval peasants, okay? What the fuck are you thinking? What are you saying? And yet it is such a commonly held belief, commonly held attitude, even in a very progressive community such as this one. It's actually one of those issues. It's actually one of those issues that I talk about quite a bit, because I'm obviously in favor of prisoners having more rights, more liberties, and our criminal justice system completely being revamped to focus on rehabilitation rather than incarceration in an effort to reduce recidivism in this country, which are pretty fucking high. But whenever this conversation comes up, and it doesn't have to come up in the midst of like a very obviously emotional mass shooting that happens all the fucking time, right? Even if I'm talking about it offhanded, just generally talking about like the horrifying conditions in our prisons or whatever, people literally will come in and be like, what if a super serial rapist pedophile like, you know, killed your mom and then your entire family, like, what then? And it's like, this does not change the analysis. Like, in that immediate moment, your retaliation and the things that you want to do to this fucking horrifying murderer does not change the reality that, like, that's not how the criminal justice system is supposed to work, okay? That's why you're not the judge, okay? There is an impartial, supposedly impartial third party that is supposed to be looking at the situation and analyzing it evenly. That's why you're not sitting on the fucking jury, dumbass, you know? And thank God for that, because a lot of people get falsely fucking implicated in crimes and shit. And you don't want people that are falsely implicated in crimes to go to prison permanently or even killed. That's the whole point. It's like, oh, what if your mother was killed? What would you want in that situation? It's like, yeah, I know. I would probably also be emotional in that circumstance, but that's precisely why you're not the fucking jury, nor the executioner, nor the judge. $40-month sub, gun reform killed a child. It's case by case. No, the kid is not going to be implicated, playing devil's advocate. Anyway. What's crazy about it is that in terms of this story, there are a lot of parties that are responsible for this death and destruction. Okay? Obviously, first and foremost, the 14-year-old. But that's still a fucking minor. That's like barely a sentient being, okay? That is a baby. Do you understand? So we have to immediately look at the situation and go, how the fuck did a 14-year-old get to this goddamn point? Okay, there's a reason why we analyze minors and adults differently, okay? Because if you have this energy for a 14-year-old, okay, what's going to happen when you got a fucking 10-year-old that does this shit next time? You know what I mean? And by the way, that is a thing that has happened before in the United States of America. I forget how old the youngest school shooter is, but I think it was like literally a kindergartner before who like tried to shoot her fucking teacher. Luckily, he failed. Or was it a 6-year-old? Yeah, it was something like that. It was like something insane, which is the most American story of all time. So, like, using the capital punishment as a deterrence strategy in this conversation is additionally stupid because like that's not how mass shooters work. You know what I mean? Mass shooters more often than not have no care or consideration for their fucking lives. You understand? So you're not even doing deterrence in this situation. You're not even like technically pointing to like a theoretical deterrence. Okay? It's pretty crazy. The kid's parents should be held responsible. And they most likely will be. There are, because in the United States of America, this is such a commonplace thing that we have like other instances, other incidents, other mass shootings we can draw from. There is already a legal precedent. This happened, I believe, either last year or like 2 years ago. I can't remember exactly when it happened. God damn, it happens so much. Yeah, James Crumbly and Michigan school shooter's parents sentenced to 10 years in prison for not stopping a runaway train. Yeah, this was the first ever parents convicted in a U.S. mass school shooting, and they were sentenced to at least 10 years in prison Tuesday as a Michigan judge lamented missed opportunities that could have prevented their teenage son from possessing a gun and killing 4 students in 2021. The mass shooting happened in 2021. The court case obviously continued well into 2024, and the conviction came a couple months ago. So there's a couple things that I want to talk about here with respect to like the additional details and the FBI's involvement, which are fucking it's crazy. What is this? Then why did you stream yourself shooting automatic weapons for content? What? Because I like shooting guns. That doesn't, but I'm not a fucking dumbass who thinks that we shouldn't have any restrictions whatsoever. We should have all of the restrictions. I do not necessarily have an issue with shooting guns in general, okay? But I also understand what guns are for, okay? Guns are for killing. That's it. That's the one purpose of a weapon. You can't use it for anything else. You can't use it to fucking, cook your food. You can't use it for travel, transportation. There's no other utility for a gun. It's just, a lethal machine, a machine of murder, okay? And hunting is still lethal, okay? You're proving the point that I'm making. You can't use a gun as a fucking paperweight, The primary purpose of a gun is to kill. And therefore, if that is the case, then we should probably have severe restrictions on who can get it, how they can get it, and ensure that it's not as simple as just walking into a goddamn Walmart and then being able to open carry it out of there. Do you understand your take on guns don't kill people, people kill people? Yeah, people do kill people. It's just guns make it a lot easier to kill a lot of people, especially assault weapons. And yes, that is a distinction, okay? Before people go, actually, how could you make those restrictions? It's like, you can, okay? We have. And, the AR platform in general, straight up is designed to more efficiently murder a bunch of people, very little recoil. A kid can fucking use it, okay? Straight up, especially if you have optics on that bad boy, dude. The entire purpose of that is to murk as many people as possible without having to reload quickly. Research shows more guns equals more death. Therefore, if you can isolate the variable and the variable results in more death, then it's the guns doing it, not the people. Yes. The real problems, in my opinion, come from giving anyone and everyone a fucking gun, okay? There are reasonable, common sense gun safety measures, okay, that other countries where there are guns that people can go out and purchase that need to be implemented here, okay? You need to get a psychiatric evaluation before you get a gun. You need to have multiple people offer like a personality witness or whatever the fuck it's called before you should be able to get a gun, okay? And those people could be held legally liable if you do something crazy with that gun. We have the absolute dumbest fucking gun laws. We have no gun laws at all. Dog, we have... I think this was in Georgia, actually. But we literally have ammunition automatic vending machines. There was a company that was trying to do a startup for ammo vending machines, man. What the fuck are you talking about, dude? Texas. Yeah. About no guns at all, Hasan? I mean, look, I think that is utopian. I agree with it. A disarmed society is a significantly better society than an armed one. Abso-fucking-lutely. Okay? Look at Japan. Perfect example. It's just that in the United States of America, when there are currently more guns in circulation than there are people, that is impossible. Especially because we have to absolutely take baby steps. You're missing an important function of guns. Bud Light cans aren't going to blast themselves. Listen, until a gun like this one can serve a 3-minute ad break at the top of the hour, I will forever tell you that the only purpose for these things is murder. Okay? That's it. At the top of the hour, I serve you the 3-minute ad break, not the gun.